Good morning, video games. Welcome to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games hosted by two very kind and extremely knowledgeable boys. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Tommy Daslow, and with me as always,
Ben Vanel here, excited to talk about video games this week.
Yes.
Fucking a lot of shit. After last week, I really was like, okay, I got to play this Seance of Blake Manor game because there's nothing else going on.
Yeah. But
And,
luckily, the news cycle came along and helped us out.
That's right. The video games fairy just sprinkled a little magic dust, and Gabe Newell,
Yes.
Mr. Valve himself,
Mr. Valve.
he blessed us.
Before we get into that, though, do you want to give a little, because you are on the other side of the fence now.
Of course,
You've been chipping away at developing your own game. You showed me a little update, and in fact, I don't know if this is connected to that at all, but your PC just humming away slightly out of frame here.
It probably is. I don't think I've turned it off for about 7 days.
Yeah, okay. Really working overtime to render your low-resolution pixel art-based card dealing game.
Yeah, I don't know why. It is probably because I haven't turned it off in a while. And Bridget did come in here the other day and go, geez, your PC's dusty. And I was like, you only clean them once a year. Like, calm down. It's meant to be dusty.
I thought you were about to go into just absolute, like, bawdy, father of the groom speech territory there. Well, then get the fucking vacuum out, toots. Oh, no, Ben, don't do it. No.
We are approaching 40. I feel like that's kind of the tip over point.
Exactly.
Into being inappropriate at every family gathering.
Miso humor.
Oh, yeah. So I did show you an update where I think functionally it's not too different, but I've been fucking polishing.
It looks completely different to when you showed it to me last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think I have sort of like, I wish I had documented the process a bit better because it does look completely different. And yeah, like the last 7 days or so, I've been working on like animations for functions. So like a progress bar going up and down like smoothly and, you know, little glow pulses, highlights.
Have we said what the format of the game is?
No.
You play a young real estate developer who meets a talented saxophone player.
That's right. You have to plan a holiday to a tropical island. You have to, organize your crew. Who else is going to be there?
Yeah, you got to make sure that a certain Russian man can't see what you're doing at any given moment.
That's right.
Yep.
God, listen to the bonus episode this week for, I'm sure, much more on that.
Not the best plug for the Patreon, I would have said. Give us money if you want to hear an hour of us talking about a grown man sucking off another grown man.
Who just happened to be presidents of the United States.
Yes. We haven't recorded the bonus yet, too. So
No.
You can get on there. By the time we do record that after this, we probably will have forgotten about that topic of conversation.
Yeah, we'll just talk about Pluribus in a couple of movies.
Yes.
No, it is. So I'm trying to basically build a functional poker game from scratch.
Yep.
And then add in basically a tarot deck that has playable cards that influence the game as you go along. So you're playing poker against, an opponent, and you play a tarot card, which is like, steal one of their cards if it improves your hand. And I also want to build in as you progress through the opponents, they will start to have their own special permanent abilities that affect the match in their favor. So, your tarot cards become more and more important. So that's basically it. So I've had to build like, a series of opponents, the poker sort of logic, which you can just kind of find online.
Yep.
All of the stuff that all the resources that I've used to build it have been like I'm using the Godot engine. So there's like forums, there's YouTube videos. This is kind of how I taught myself how to use WordPress. There's just a lot of online resources.
Yes.
So, just a lot of Googling. But,
Googling and needing one quite simple thing answered. And the only way to get that information is to wade through a 45-minute video presented by the least presentable person you've ever heard speak in your life.
Yeah, somehow more dull than monotone.
Yes.
Like
More dull than just looking at the code itself.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a series of threads on forums where by the end of it you realise no one answered the question that was asked.
Yes. And you check the date and it's like, oh, this is from 15 years ago. So even then, the information's probably out of date for the version I'm using.
Yeah.
Just from the kind of brief thing that you've shown me of it and the kind of royalty-free sort of assets you've got in there at the moment, I get the impression that you're going for a kind of, in the aesthetic, a bit of like a kind of, I don't know, gothic-y sort of style. But may I suggest pivoting that and making all of the kind of presentation of it, the scene in Austin Powers 1 where he's at the casino playing cards against number 2.
Fuck.
Because you're saying the opponent gets like permanent buffs.
Yeah.
Much like the glasses that, or the eye patch that number 2 has on that allows him to see into the card.
Fuck, that's such a good idea for a mechanic as well.
A video game adaptation of just one scene.
Oh, man.
But it's a different card game too.
Yeah. We'll just make it poker.
Yeah.
It's blackjack, isn't it?
It's blackjack.
Movie?
I suggest you stay.
Now that I know how to kind of make a basic 2D card game, I might just make that as well.
Yeah, great.
And then we'll go viral and we can, buy a new house.
Austin Powers 1 scene simulator.
Yes.
You find the time code of that bit in the movie.
Oh, yes.
And you call it that, like 5314 simulator.
Fuck. Okay. No one steal that idea.
Yes.
That is our idea.
Copyrighted. Yeah. It's out there. It's out there on the internet.
That's right.
This is time and date stamped.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
It's going well. I said to you just before, like trying to add one animation to one element on the screen took me 48 hours literally
Things
to do.
that you would assume, like anything that is such an integral part of the thing you're making in whatever program it is, that you would assume either happens automatically or is like one button push. You then find out it really does give you it's the classic thing of, I think a lot of people are reluctant to start learning too much about how to do the craft of a art form that they like, because then you see the strings and it kind of ruins it for you. The thing of you were telling me getting a little bar to sort of animate and go up instead of just going get in one big hit. That being a whole bunch of things that you have to do, which you would assume a little bar going up. Surely that's just an automatic thing. But no, and then you realize every little part of every game that I've ever played that has a little thing where instead of something just appearing, it's got even just the shortest animation has been a crippling amount of steps to figure out.
Totally. And I mean, like the first time you do it, right? Like I'm sure after I go on to something like, because I started the project and I've just been iterating on the same one.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of things where I try to add something, but it breaks something else, so I gotta fix that, and you end up in a bit of a loop. Whereas hopefully the next thing I start on fresh, I don't fuck those things up. You're
bringing all that to it,
Yeah, but you're right. Like, and also playing, like I played the Seance of Blake Manor, and just kind of knowing in the back of my head, because I think Unity and Godot are not crazily dissimilar. And a lot of I don't know if it was built in Unity, but I think it might have been, because I think that and Blueprints are the same publisher. Or I'm not sure if it's the same dev, but they have that sort of Unity feel. Knowing like, man, when they tried to like get the credits or the production idents to come up and then fade out and the start menu to fade in. Man, that would have taken them a whole day. Whereas, like, having used
something that people just skip.
Yeah. So, having done like a lot of video editing and stuff like that, it's if you want to make an image asset fade in and fade out, you just apply fade in and fade out from the effects thing. Whereas, this is it's manual, but it's so fucking fun. Like, I've just devoted so much of my time to it in the past couple of weeks. I really, really am enjoying it. So,
maybe down the line, this would be something that people can play. Well, I'd say they could play it on their TV, but if it's going to come out on the PC, then there's just going to be no way for them to do that.
No.
Oh, what's this? Some news from 4 days ago has just come in. So Valve have dropped a trailer for what was in there? 3 new things.
Four, I think, right?
A new a VR headset.
Yes.
A new Steam controller.
Yes.
That sort of mimics the layout of the Steam Deck, and it's got the little trackpads on there which replicate a mouse, which for anything on the Steam Deck that uses a mouse, it is pretty handy. So that will be appealing to some people. And the main thing, or the most interesting thing in there, is a new, essentially console version of a PC called the Steam Machine. It's a little black box. The idea behind it being that it is your Steam library. It's a lot of the similar kind of thing behind the Steam Deck.
Yep.
It is a console. It's that is essentially just running that's running an operating system.
Yeah.
So it's not like a locked in a switch thing where you turn it on and it's all automatically there. It kind of does function like that, but it also has more like back end stuff running in it where you can then exit out of that and put whatever you want on it quite easily.
Yeah, which is so, and that's how the Steam Deck works.
Yeah,
like your you can flip between operating systems.
The Steam
or
Deck, when you turn it on,
programs.
it's got your library, but then there's also like a button in the bottom corner that just takes you to Linux.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
right.
where you install like Emu Deck and just anything else that you want to get on there outside. Like it is incredibly easy to get into the back end and do whatever you want, and so it's that ecosystem, but in the form of essentially a home console.
Yes, which I think. Sorry, when I said 4, I think I was thinking that they have expanded their hardware to 4 because yes, there's the Steam Deck as well.
Sure.
Which what that like the trailer was like. By the time I saw it, I already knew what was in it. But the way it starts is kind of like, we're so proud of the Steam Deck and people have been playing it a lot. But this video isn't about the Steam Deck. It's about other hardware. And they did that verbatim. I don't know why they left it in. To
One
be
take
frank.
wonders. Yeah. But this happened at an improv show. So they were doing it live at the UCB. So they just had to like leave it in.
Yeah. Poor guy. But
someone space jumped this guy out of here and say the sentence properly.
I've got an Xbox. Well, I've got a Steam machine.
Because I quite like it. It's a dumb name, but Steam Machine it's sick.
It's great. It's better than Steam Deck because a Steam Machine is like that could be a train. But it is very exciting. The first thing I said to you when I read the news was, does this kill the Xbox?
Yep.
Because as you describe it, a home console that is essentially a small PC is what the Xbox is.
It's interesting to see Steam going from just the name of basically a program that was on your computer to get games to being its own like platform.
Yeah,
to
its own brand.
The shorthand of it is like, it felt like you had to be pretty, if you had a PC, you were using Steam to buy things.
Yep.
And you're very like in on the ecosystem and how it all works. But outside of that, you might not really know much about it or what it was.
100%.
And then now like using this branding for now this suite of machines.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they've kind of gone in the other way or sort of like come at it from the other direction, I guess. But pretty soon they'll be in the place that, the rumor is PlayStation are working on a dedicated portable that's not just the Portal, that's not like a cloud thing that is its own, has its own hardware in it.
Yep.
And them getting in there first with, this basically them having a stab at a console. The funny thing is, it's entirely possible to have your PC rigged up to a TV and just do all this stuff. And this is still running like an operating system. So it's not like a truly dedicated console experience. But I mean, the thing we should say about this trailer is that there's no solid release date information, nor is there a price in there, which is kind of strange. I think it's beneficial to get that information out there as soon as possible for people.
All that I know, and this was a key thing for us, is that unlike the Steam Deck, it will be shipping directly to Australia from launch.
Yep.
And I assume other territories, but that was, I think, an Aussie site that was reporting that.
Yep.
So not the same significant sort of staggering of release.
Yep.
Which, yes, does make this feel much more in line with a legitimate console release.
Yeah.
And I like it. I think it's fucking cool. Like,
I would be tempted to downgrade from the PC.
Yes,
Pending
yes.
a little more of a deep dive into the stats and the price of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to have that connected to the TV and then the deck for on the go.
Yep.
The funny thing is that it really does then get into territory where the stats of the different machines and consoles that people are potentially going to have across their house are now so wildly different between all of them. It feels like this will be different enough from what the Switch 2 is capable of, which is different again from what the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are capable of.
Yep.
And I feel like it's going to be a weird period. It already is a bit of a weird period with third-party developers and porting stuff over to the Switch 2, and there's so much like interest in how good or how bad is this port and how does it run, and you know, what sort of decision do you want to make in terms of where you're playing this game. And if there's then the Steam Deck is sort of another version of that, and then the Steam machine is going to be another version of that again. It kind of is, it felt like there was a bit of a period where it was like third-party stuff is not really coming out on the Wii U. It's coming out on the PlayStation and the Xbox, and between the two versions, it's sort of much of a muchness.
Yeah, and then I think the key thing with this is that, given it is kind of like, I think I checked the specs and it's like a little bit less powerful than my PC, which I've upgraded over the years. Like, I think it's got 16 gig of RAM, which I remember having that and being like, I need more.
Yeah.
Like, certain programs are just suffering, you know, with design stuff and shit like that even. But it's like almost as good as a PC that's been upgraded over the past 3 or 4 years, which means it will be able to play most games that are released on PC.
Yep.
To a reasonable level.
It's a tough one. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, it does feel like it's maybe going to be left behind in some regards. Like, if you don't have a PC and you don't have a PS5, it's kind of
Xbox.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know where this sits. Like, if you're someone that's going in on this and you don't have any of the other things, it's kind of hard to imagine this coming across your radar and this being like the first thing that you are going in on as a home console if you don't already have a PC or a Steam Deck or a PlayStation.
If you don't have a library of Steam games, right? Like, maybe this is for, you know, a young person who hasn't started really getting into games yet. Maybe they've had, you know, been bought a Switch 1 or something, and now they're getting a bit more serious.
Or, of course, if you play mostly indies, that more and more is the main thing where I'm getting stuff on Steam for the Steam Deck because they're like smaller games that will reliably run. The Steam Deck has gotten to a point where, like, when it first came out, it could play most big AAA stuff fairly reliably.
Yep.
And over the last couple of years, it started to like really slip away. Like, I remember looking into like things like Indiana Jones and stuff, and it's like it just can't run those games.
Right.
Like, it technically can, but it's not. They're not like optimizing a version of it for it, or you can get it running at like 20 frames a second and it just like drains the battery.
Right.
It's not as much of a thing as like a dedicated team working on a Switch 2 port. So it's kind of always going to fall a little bit behind in that respect. But it just is interesting to have. It almost makes me think that we need to go back to the days of every console getting its own different dedicated version of the game.
Yes.
Not just like, we're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake running on the Switch 2 as well as we can, little bit of downgraded textures and whatnot. No, make it a 2D side scroller.
Yeah.
That would rock if we really went back to dedicated teams for each console, making a specific version of the game.
Oh, yes.
Like that Tony Hawk 2 version on the GBA where it's like isometric top down.
Yep.
We may need to get back into that territory.
Fuck, I don't mind that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to be, people still want to kind of argue their console war kind of stuff, even though it's sort of irrelevant because most things come out across sort of everything with some little exclusives here and there.
Yep.
Really just boils down to what sort of tone you prefer of your first party exclusives. But if it was really like being able to get into the weeds of like, I actually think the top-down version of Cyberpunk 2077 is like the best. It's actually a sick way to play it.
Yeah, weirdly, Last of Us 2 pinball. It's fucking the story is beautiful.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Playing to the strengths of like when you've got those like Disney games on the Genesis and the Super
and the
Nintendo.
SNES,
and some of them have the SNES one would have like brighter colors, but then the Mega Drive one would have like better music. Just all
blood
those
and
kinds
no
of
blood.
things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yes.
We need to go back because again, like younger people now, they'll never be able to understand the arguing now is just like, you see some, a video of like, fuck, they've done pretty tremendous work to get Star Wars Outlaws running as well as they have on the Switch too. And then all the comments on the Twitter post are like, yeah, it looks great if you want to play it at 25 frames per second. It's like, okay, if we're going to be arguing about that, about like how downgraded a specific version is, then let's go all the way. Like, it's a card game on the Switch too. It's a Ben Vanel developed card game.
Oh, I mean, hey, I'll take the work.
Yeah.
But I guess it is weird that if you position the Steam Machine directly against the PS5, the Xbox Series, the Switch 2, which again you probably don't because you go, well, the Steam Deck is the equivalent there. And what is it? It's more powerful slightly, but it is way more expensive. And the battery's way worse.
I mean, that's it. I was kind of like... I was like, yeah, maybe I would, depending the price, get one of these. Be good to have access to that Steam library on the TV a bit more natively. Because I've fucked around with a Steam Deck dock. And I just cannot get stuff that I would want to play on the TV that's a bit more like, involved, like 3D world, open world kind of looking games. Because it's just... the dock isn't doing anything like it does with the Switch. It's not like upscaling it or anything.
Right.
It's just giving you the resolution that the Steam Deck can do.
Right.
Which then means that it just looks very like stretched out and not very appealing on the monitor. Is my experience at least. It's probably quite different when you get into the realm of having indies up on there, but indies I'm fine to play handheld anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
So I guess the Steam Machine is like, well, if you're finding that your Steam Deck can't handle those games that are a bit more graphically intensive, or like you say, you want a bigger screen for it, but you don't want to dive into the PS5, the Xbox Series, with all of the idiosyncrasies that they have, like not being able to play all of these games that are having an exclusive on a PS5 that's, not on an Xbox and vice versa. It's like, well, you don't have to fuck around with that console wars bullshit because we're basically a PC. It's better than a Steam Deck. It's not as good as a giant, very loud gaming PC. It's more convenient. You can play it on your TV. This is for you. But it does kind of position itself almost as for someone who kind of has everything else that already exists and just wants a more convenient way to play PC games.
I do think you're right. I think it is... The main thing about it is that you can see it cutting into quite severely the Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, the ability to play all of those games that are coming out on that platform, and you then also have the option of they exist in a library that if you then down the line want to get a Steam Deck and have them portably, like they have shown that they're very good with bringing you, like there will be another Steam Deck at some point. They've said they don't want to do another one until it can be significantly more of an upgrade. They don't want to do these like little iterative ones. So like they have shown themselves to be so consumer friendly in that sense of like you buy these games, they're on the library. When a new thing comes out, you hit a button. Like when I got the Steam Deck, it was sick. Just turning it on, logging in, and then it's like, here's all your shit. Do you want to download all of this onto there right now? And you go, yes. And then it's just like, oh, cool. It's all there. This stuff that I was playing on the PC yesterday is now just here in this handheld thing.
Yeah, or the stuff that I bought 15 years ago. That's also there. It just, and that's always been, I think, the consumer-friendly aspect of the Steam library, is like, you own everything and you can play it forever unless for some strange reason it completely goes like it becomes archived, licensing issues, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is rare. Like I will see stuff in my library that I, bought and maybe never played, but bought over a decade ago.
Yep.
But I guess, you also have, I assume, the potential to play Game Pass on the Steam machine.
You can, yeah. I think I tried to do it and I gave up. I found it quite annoying to do. You can do it.
Right.
I'm just not
you just
tech savvy enough to do it.
Right.
But you have to go into the back end and install it through a thing and then put all this shit in. And
right. And then that's one of the things you can launch instead of the Steam.
Yeah. And I started doing that and then went, there's actually nothing on here that I want. What am I worrying about?
Yeah. I don't have Game Pass anymore. But yes, it's not just the fact that it is a way to have a games library that's permanent, and to play PC games that are often released on Microsoft Windows by Xbox.
Yeah.
It is... I can have Game Pass on it. I can have my subscription on it, and never need to boot up an Xbox console ever again.
Yeah. It's interesting too because it does turn the landscape of PC gaming into like something that has always felt quite... I guess like malleable, like the goalposts of what a PC game is and looks like,
right,
and is capable of doing is just shifting constantly because new cards come out, and so on a AAA game, there's always going to be the option of playing it on the like ultra high, souped out, and that's changing like basically monthly.
Sure,
it's not like a generational thing where it's like for the next 6 years, this is like the maximum of what a game can do. It's this like constantly moving goalpost.
Yes,
and if this machine becomes very popular and the Steam Deck becomes more popular, all of a sudden it puts a very like rigid set of conditions on what a PC game, like if that's where most people who are technically buying the game on Steam are playing this PC game of yours, it maybe does start to make developers treat the PC a bit more like they've had to treat all the other consoles, right? In that, like, well, this is where we know most people are playing this.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to have a good time with this on the Steam Deck. We want people to be able to have a good time with this on the Steam machine. I don't think the numbers of either of these bits of hardware are quite there yet. Games have come out and they've kind of got the tick of like they technically can run on it, but it's not like the best experience if you have the option of doing it somewhere else. So it's not like games developers are going like, let's keep ourselves inside this little box so that it can also run on this. But maybe it will be a thing where PC ports or just PC games in general start to be treated more like a version that is like, here is the ceiling. Let's have the option to blow out if you want it, but let's develop it with this in mind. Yeah,
there's a cap. There's a cap on what our our optimum version of the game.
Yeah.
Which is literally it's optimized for the deck and the machine, and then it can be better on a PC.
Yeah.
I wonder though. I think, like you say, if the sales are not significant enough, as they like, I'm sure the Steam Deck has sold well for what it is, but you compare it to something like the Switch 2 or the other home consoles, I don't think it's made enough of an impact to change the workflow of
I don't think it has.
Yeah.
I think I saw the numbers recently. It's sold fine, but nothing phenomenal because it is very expensive. And again, that is the big question mark about the Steam machine. Are they going to position it as an affordable home alternative to a high-end PC? Because if it is getting up around the $1,000 mark, then it kind of does turn into like, well, what's the point of this over any of the others?
Yeah, yes, exactly. If I don't already have a home console or a gaming PC, either I'll just get a big PC because I can fucking work on it and shit, or I'll get a console that's a few $100 less. I imagine it's actually, I keep second guessing what they're going to do with it because, like you say, the Steam Deck is not cheap. Yeah. It's not cheap in comparison to the market, but it is a portable PC. Yeah. And it has better capabilities than the Switch 2 if you're talking about AAA games graphical fidelity, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I just don't
actually
know what they're going to do with it.
I guess I think it is. Yeah, I think it is more powerful than the Switch 2 by a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
But then I just have noticed, like, I guess it's more about, like, the time that is going into, like, optimizing
Yes.
the games for it. Because the last few things I've played on it that have been higher end have just really struggled.
Right.
In a way that they would, if they were going to struggle that hard on the Switch 2, they just would not come out. You know what I mean? If it's not possible to have it on there.
Yeah.
But speaking of high-end PCs,
Oh, yes.
I would say there's a fair few of them in at Illumination Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Busily slaving away on the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which there was a Nintendo Direct presentation for during the week. The premiere of the first full trailer for this movie, introduced by Miyamoto-san, with interruptions from that freaky-looking man from Illumination, and
Chris something,
and Jack Black himself, bursting into frame in a way that was quite clearly two separate filmed pieces, green screened together.
I think they really are, visual magicians over there at Illumination.
Yes,
they can do anything.
I really they can do anything apart from make that guy look slightly human. I love how much Jack Black loves being in these. I love how he is excited to throw back to Miyamoto-san. I like the fact that he is referring to the Illumination guy as Chris-san for some reason, even though neither of them are Japanese.
And presumably not filming that in Japan at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You love how Trump was almost assassinated, but wish that they had aimed a little bit better.
Yep. Weird for that to come up. I guess I suppose that's Jack Black going, this is like Nintendo Japan, and they're putting it out as a direct, so it is going out to he's assuming it's a largely Japanese audience, I guess. I don't know.
And it's not going to... It's in the West. It's not going to put people offside.
Ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, by him going Chris-san.
But we got our first look at this movie.
Yes,
Rosalina being voiced by Brie Larson.
Yeah,
who has been posted a thing of herself in May walking around Super Nintendo World. I think she just found out that she'd gotten the role, and she kind of goes off into a corner to film like a kind of a time capsule video. And then there was stuff that people found from like 2020 of her talking about how much she'd been playing Super Mario Galaxy in the pandemic, and her partner had been kind of roasting her for that, and she was like, get fucked. Yeah. So her credentials are pretty solid.
Absolutely.
Which I think is cool.
Yes.
And I think she's a good choice for it.
She's a great actor.
And then a part of the presentation that got a genuine laugh out loud from me. Bowser Jr. being voiced by Benny Safdie.
Yeah, Frank Manatee himself.
This really does look like, in the last year there's been so many of those, like the way they announced the cast for the first movie, they had the little image thing
little portrait image,
just memes of like, oh, this character will be in it, and this fucking random ass guy, this looks like one of them.
Absolutely. Which having not seen him in Happy Gilmore 2, I would have been a bit more surprised, but I do feel like he's just like, man, I want to be a fucking movie star now.
Well,
I want to have fun and be, because their work as brothers was so great. Yeah, very, very serious, very intense. And I am about to watch The Smashing Machine. Yeah, haven't seen it yet, and I'm sure that is still, quite a serious film.
But he's great in everything he's been in.
Absolutely.
But the reveal, what was funniest about the reveal, I think if they had because remember they announced the cast for the first movie before they'd shown any trailer or anything. Yeah. So you're just like looking at all these people that are in it and being like, I'm really having a hard time computing how that's going to, if they're the right, like Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
Right.
Like, what?
How is that voice going to match up?
Yeah, exactly. But then with this, they'd already shown a clip of Bowser Jr.
Yes.
And I was like, this sounds great.
Yeah.
This is a great cartoony voice. This really fits. I really like it. And going like, who is that? Who's playing that? And then the reveal of like Benny Safdie. It's funny. Just the fact that it's Benny Safdie is funny. Yep. But also like, oh, well, I'll be goddamned. He's doing it good. He's doing a fun little Bowser Jr. I wouldn't have picked that was him doing that.
Totally.
But then, of course, the other funny thing about it is that it gets you into the thought territory of like of So what does this mean that Miyamoto has watched The Curse?
Yes.
Does it mean that he's seen Oppenheimer? Does it mean that he's seen Uncut Gems?
Oh.
Has he had to fully immerse himself in the Safdie? Has he seen Good Time?
Yeah.
Has he had to fully immerse himself in the Safdie canon in order for this casting to take place?
I mean, I hope he saw Happy Gilmore too. That's
yes,
what I'll say.
yes, at the very least.
Louis. Sorry. Good boy. But yeah, cool trailer, cool visuals. I think we were anticipating the galaxiness of it all being, pretty interesting, and it fucking, like, as dumb as the story and characters are.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Visuals are awesome.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the galaxy stuff is a great setting for it. It does look maybe a little too much like it'll just be even more of the same of the first one, of just like, now here's this thing, now here's this thing, now here's this thing.
Yep.
With very little, like, justification for why any of this, like, the very video gamey stuff that they just lent into in the first one. Like, there's a bit in the trailer where the little stars that you use to kind of warp around the planets in Galaxy, there's a little bit in the trailer of Peach jumping into one of them.
Yes.
And just, it's like, what's the justification? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And there's little glimpses of stuff from Odyssey, the little sand kingdom with the upside down pyramid.
Yep.
So it really does feel like even more so. And in a way, like, I would rather them just go completely, just treat it like a fucking music video.
Yeah,
where you just are throwing little fun,
little Easter eggs and
visual
references.
treats in for 90 minutes. And if you're not going to have a story or a good story, then just don't worry about even trying. Just make it a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah. Get rid of the voice actors. I'm going to try letting Louis in here so he stops barking.
Sure thing.
And I'll show him on the camera for everyone.
Yeah. But yeah, looks fun. And I could see in our Discord that there were a lot of people that were, have kids.
Yes.
Enjoyed the experience of taking their kids to the first one, and are pumped for this.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun, and seeing all the stuff that is in there, that realizing, like, my partner's nephew.
Oh yeah.
Did I say this on the show, that he was really into the first movie, and he was asking me, Tommy, have you played the one where Mario turns into the cat? And I was like, brother, I've played all of them.
Yes.
But he still hasn't played any of the games, and so realizing that for any kids like that who loved the first movie but are still not quite old enough to get into the games themselves, they don't know who Yoshi is.
Yeah.
They don't know what any of this shit is yet.
Yeah,
they're going to have their little minds blown. So that's exciting.
Yep.
I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and there had been the teaser trailer for Mario Galaxy, the movie, and I was like, "Hey, there's going to be a second Mario movie where he goes into space." And he's like, I think he's 7. He goes, "Yeah, I used to like the first one." Oh, damn. I was like talking later with his mum. I was like, damn, that's brutal.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, he's just trying to sound cool, as if if he's not going to be into it when it comes out.
That's the thing. When you age like 3 years, you're like, I was a baby 3 years ago. I don't like any of that stuff.
It was brutal to get that, like, memory of being a little kid where, before you go to school, you're just like, you like what you like. And then seeing that, like, influence start to come in of, like, this thing isn't cool. You have to pretend to be, like, more into this stuff, or you might get teased for liking this stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, that's tough. And me being like, hey, guess what? You don't have to pretend to be cool around me.
Yeah.
You can be into whatever lame bullshit you want, and I'm going to be fully here for it.
I have Sonic Lego.
Hang on, I don't have Sonic Lego. I don't want that. It's a funny thing to say, but I just want to clear this up for a matter of public record.
Okay. Louis, what are you barking at? He's barking at something in the kitchen.
He's trying to riff.
It's probably a fly. Yeah, he's riffing it. He's riffing. He's saying, "There's a fly on Mike Pence's head."
No, he's doing a podcast with the fly. Dogs.
Hey,
the
Bob.
best and simultaneously sometimes worst thing in the day. So yeah, speaking of Nintendo-based movies,
yes,
some leaked set footage of the Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah, which, let's just say, and I think it looks interesting and cool, set footage never gives a positive impression, or as positive an impression of what the film will look like, because, man, you're not seeing the fucking lights, the color grading. Like, it's just people walking around outside.
Even if you just see the footage before it's had all that done to it, it looks shit.
Yes, totally, yes. But, yeah, it's filming in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. We see some footage of Zelda.
Oh,
Lunk. Can I borrow some rupees, bro? Oh, sure.
Yeah, get him. Get him.
How do you spell lunk?
That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really
I wonder if
good.
Guy Montgomery's in the movie.
He might be.
He could be a funny Zelda villager.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, if it's all... I forget the name of the guy directing it, the Maze Runner dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's just like a big New Zealand Taskmaster fan, he's got... Yeah, he's got all the... I mean, none of them really live there anymore.
No, that's
is the
true.
other thing of New Zealand comedians.
That's true.
It's
I mean,
pretty much just Guy.
I think you've got Laura Daniel and Guy... Joseph Moore.
I think they live in the UK now.
Fucking hell, it's really cleared out.
It's big exodus. Although, you know what? Interestingly enough, I did see that in the next month, Ray O'Leary is going back there to do some shows. Now, I saw that initially and I thought to myself, well, that makes sense. He's going back for Christmas, visit the family.
Sure.
May as well put a show on, start working out some new material while he's there.
Yep.
But perhaps this is all a smokescreen for him having a role as a disgusting little orc in the Legend of Zelda movie.
Would you like to buy some arrows?
We got to get Ray in here and ask him about that.
We've been meaning to have him on for
a while,
like literally a year. Yes.
Yeah. We'll try and tee that up soon.
But yeah, what did you think? I mean, there's some people in some costumes walking around.
Look, I feel the same as I have since basically it being announced that they're making a Zelda movie and that it's live action.
Yeah.
And it's being directed by a guy who seems to not have a great run of good films. Mm-hmm. I'm very apathetic towards everything about this project.
I think that, I got to wait for the trailer. If the visuals are done in an actually interesting way, that could get me in.
Yeah.
But also, you're right, the guy directing it doesn't have the best track record for creative and innovative filmmaking. I don't know.
I'm a huge animation fan.
Yes.
And maker of, technically, I guess.
Yes.
So even with all the flaws in the Mario movie in regards to the writing and the
humor,
the Chris Pratt of it all, I'm still going to be interested because it's a neat looking cartoon,
incredible looking.
I was incredibly hungover yesterday and I chucked on the first one. The Japanese audio on Netflix.
I've still got to do that,
and it kind of rocked.
Yeah, I might do that.
I watched the beginning of it and I was like, I'm gonna take a gummy in the next week or so and just lock in and just watch this in Japanese.
Man, we've got a brownie in the freezer. I think. I think that might be a great idea.
But just the it looks tremendous.
It does,
the animation style. So for me personally and my interests, I can get into it on that level.
Yes.
And a live action Zelda film really does feel to me like it's hard to get psyched about outside of having like a 13-year-old kid who you can be like, oh, this can be their big introduction to... I played a little bit of the games with them and they'll probably really like this film, so it'll be fun to go and see with them.
Yes.
I think for us, there'll be potentially very little in this.
That's fair.
It's hard... I don't really know what... or I do assume that they're making it more for the sort of like... slightly older kids than maybe the Mario movie. They're making it with like 13-year-olds kind of in mind.
I'm picturing Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
Original Harry Potter films, that demographic sort of going into high school potentially. And like, I don't know, I'm sure that's what they want as well. You know, it's Nintendo and Illuminate, whoever's making it.
I mean, my biggest fantasy for a Nintendo animated universe would be, you let Ghibli loose on all of it.
I've seen that in the comments.
You make it all in Japan. Yeah. I don't like I don't like Beastie Boys songs being in a Mario Brothers movie. All of this shit. So it's kind of hard to detach from all of that of like, I don't really want there to be a cinematic universe that is
No.
done in the way of like this being treated like a Marvel thing.
No.
I think all of these properties are like way more special than that.
Yeah.
But however, that being said, there's some previews that have come out of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yes.
A bunch of journos got a hands-on with the first, I think, like 90 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And there's a little guy that you meet who is quote-unquote funny.
Yeah.
And the previews all seem unanimous in saying, God, I hope this cunt isn't in the game for very long, because he's like
a companion character that follows you around in the demo, apparently.
Yeah, and he's like very quippy. He's very like Marvel-esque.
Yes.
He's like He's very, because you know the. What's so great about the atmosphere of those games is that you're alone. You crash landed on this planet.
Yeah. It's you against the world.
You're isolated.
Yeah.
And having a guy be like, should you hit the save button? It's like really... People are like,
is the Metroid behind me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Beyond just not finding it like to your personal comedy taste or whatever, a lot of people have talked about this is not... The point of what is great about these games is that you are not communicating with people for the entire time.
Yes.
I do get the impression more from the overview trailer that they put out that there are segments where you have these guys that are following you around for a little bit and there's like a few different ones. So I don't think he's like like a companion that is with you for the entirety of the game.
No.
In the way that like a little fairy is in the Zelda games or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bit of a weird one to read. Like people are so hyped for this game and for the takeaways from the preview to all be a bit like, uh-oh.
Yeah, which apart from that, I will say they were all very positive about the performance of the game, the feel of the gameplay.
Yep.
I think a lot of that was just like, yep, they've done it again. It's a super polished, next entry in this franchise. But yeah, that is an odd one. I presume if the game's, 20 hours long, then this side character is in there for, 45 minutes.
And this is the beginning section of the game that they were playing to.
Yeah.
Worth pointing out. I think they got like 90 minutes or something with it.
Yeah, I think that's what I read, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like an early thing where, maybe Samus shoots him in the head and she's like, I'd rather be alone on this planet than have this bozo guiding me around.
Yeah.
I played a bit more of the Kirby Air Riders test ride over the weekend as well. Yep. I love it. I'm so in.
Yeah.
I think I have a feeling that critics are going to hate it, and I can't wait.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very polarizing.
Yeah, interesting. I could see critics liking it, but audiences, especially Western audiences, hating it. But
it's like it's not very immediate. I guess it's like, it's a character racing game, which you assume is going to be pick up and play, very accessible. But it's even though there's only one button, it's like learning the mechanics. And I will say, so far, I'm enjoying the racing more than I'm enjoying the city trial mode.
Oh, interesting.
So the mechanic of the racing being you have this one button that you're holding down to kind of like stop and boost, which you're using to get around corners. You're also using that button to suck up enemies that are littering the track and spit them out. And when you do that, you get a speed boost. You can also absorb some of their abilities, which give you special powers that you can use to like knock opponents off the track and stuff. Once you get into like the strategy of like using those things around the course, once it clicks, it feels great.
Fuck yeah.
But the first time you play it, it really is like, what the fuck is happening? What is any of this stuff?
Yep.
I can't accelerate. I don't really have all that much control over what my car is doing. How do you get good at this? Like, how do you win? But yeah, once you get into that kind of flow state of like sucking up this thing and that gives you a boost, and then now you've got this power and you can hit this guy and get another boost. It just looks and feels great.
Fuck yeah.
And so unique.
Yeah. I'm very excited for it to come out. That is coming out this month?
This week.
Fuck my ass.
Oh, I forgot to ask. What do you think of the Zelda movie leaked stuff?
It looks so good. All right.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Serious question.
Okay.
What do you think if we went to New Zealand tomorrow What do you think the chances would be of us being able to get ourselves in the background of the Zelda movie?
Oh, I think probably low, maybe 5%, but
You're telling me there's a chance?
That's right. I reckon we could pull a lot of... I mean, we could pull strings. Would they lead to anything happening? Don't know.
Yes.
But we could really try and work our way into it.
Sending an email to the PR contact for Nintendo that sends us review codes.
Oh,
and being like, hey, we're in New Zealand. Is there any chance you can get us in the background of the Zelda movie?
We're not...
You got to imagine that's going unanswered.
Yeah. No, we're not part of any acting guild.
No.
We do have acting experience. However...
How would we go about making this happen?
Yeah.
I guess just for the sake of it, I probably would start by sending an email through to Nintendo, not expecting anything to come from that.
Yeah.
Then I would be hitting up some of the New Zealand comedy mafia.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, he's on the ground.
Yeah.
What have you heard?
Yeah, is anyone involved? Has anyone's representation been contacted?
But I think we would just have to like John Ronson it up.
Yeah.
And just go gonzo. We just get there. We try and find that leaked photo or footage. We work out where that it was, what area that was in.
Yep.
And we just kind of base ourselves there.
Yes.
And then we're just talking to shopkeepers and just trying to get our ear to the ground and just be like, hey, we just want to be in the background as like a little villager, or hey, I'll sit in the makeup chair for 10 hours to be a little bokoblin.
I mean, we could get our own costumes, put them on.
Yes.
And then if we do get any whispers of like, oh yeah, they're filming here, just kind of look around, look like lost extras.
Yes.
Hope a production coordinator kind of finds us, gets us on a bus. I think that's how we do it.
We could send them...
This is how we win.
We could send them the video of the Tears of the Kingdom episode that we did.
Yes.
Where I'm dressed up like Peter Pan because it was the closest thing I could find to a Link costume at short notice.
Yeah.
That was the first episode that we did video for.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I mean, I've got a Dracula costume, if that helps.
Yeah, that's kind of Ganon coded.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if I became Ganon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I walk on set and they're like, Mr. Ganon, please come
They're
through.
like, oh, we actually... This might be a bit of an oversight, but we actually didn't have him in the movie yet. So this is really helpful.
Yeah. Mr. Momoa, you look a bit shorter.
Well, do you want to talk about the seance at...
Of? I think it's of. It should be at, shouldn't it? Man, we have gotten terrible with game titles, but arguably me, because I played Reanimal, the demo, about a month ago, and I kept calling it Reanimals, which is a great name.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Reanimals is a great name.
Yeah.
But
What is it called?
It's called Reanimal.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, the Seance of Blake Manor.
Wait, so you're caning yourself publicly for just having put an S on
That's right.
the end. Okay.
That's right.
Well, they're saving that one for the sequel.
Clearly. $.
Yeah.
James Cameron style.
Reanimal, now you don't. What?
Reanimal, you three me?
And then the third one is called Reanimals 2.
That's good. That's good. They should have called the third Alien movie Aliens 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the follow-on from Aliens.
Absolutely it
Yeah.
is. Fuck.
More aliens.
I've played the Seance Blake Manor.
Yep.
It is it's I think developed by Raw Fury, potentially published. I don't know which one, but
I think they're the publisher.
Which is interesting if that's the case, because visually there is a lot of similarities between this and Blueprints. Specifically, you go into a big mansion. Big manor. You start outside of it where there is a big fountain in like a big circular driveway, and you walk into a big mansion. And I was like, damn, am I playing Blueprints? Did I wake up and put on Blueprints instead of Blake Manors?
Am I in the opening titles of Succession?
But yeah, so it has that same sort of cel-shaded, simplistic, but three-dimensional style. You have a similar mechanic restricting how much you can do.
Okay.
Where every time you interact with something in the manor, it deducts a minute, or it adds a minute, I should say.
Okay.
So you're there at 11 p.m. You've got to like go up to your bedroom at midnight, and before you can do that, you need to solve this sort of first, basically tutorial mystery.
Time to squeeze in a bit of detecting work in the hour before I go to bed at 11 p.m.
That's right. And so the setup for anyone who doesn't know anything about this game is there's a little cutscene at the start. You are a detective. I think you're an Englishman. Maybe you're just an Irishman from the other side of Ireland.
Okay.
But you have been hired to go all the way out west to this manor because this Lady Evelyn Dean, she went missing. Mm-hmm. And they want you to find her, and you've been paid £300 for your trouble.
When is this set?
Like the 18 somethings.
That's a lot.
Yeah, brother, that's a lot of pounds.
Even now, that's a lot of pounds.
Yeah, it is in Australia. You can buy a house.
They pay you £300. The Stavros Halkias special. We'll pay you in stavies.
This game should have been called My £300 Life. The £300 seance of Blake Manor.
The Cumtown video game.
That's Thousand Ireland stare.
God damn.
Oh, yeah.
God fucking damn
That
it.
one's for the real ones out there.
That one's for the real pests.
That's for the cum heads. So, yes, you are hired to go out to this place. You're hired to find this woman who's gone missing. You walk in. Very similar to Blueprints. If you've played that game, similar looking. You walk into the manor. There's this guy behind the front desk. Mm-hmm. And so there's like dissimilar to Blueprints. There's people everywhere.
Okay.
Well, not everywhere. There's one person at the start.
Right.
But the goal is to talk to various people around this manor who are there for various reasons and solve this mystery. And the start, which is what I've done, is you're just in the foyer. You can only access, I think, 4 other rooms. And you're talking to the hotel manager, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why you're here. Like, I mean, I guess, you want to find this woman, but she's not in the manor. Like, one day we went out to her room. She was gone. She left a letter saying that she had departed, and all her shit was gone. So,
and what's Manuel got to say about all this?
Care? Well, initially we thought she was a hotel reviewer, so we were being very, very nice to her. Lucky we snuck the dead body past her.
Name me another podcast that will go from a Cumtown reference to a Faulty Towers reference at such breakneck speed.
The only other podcast will be something that's reviewing awesome, funny things. Every episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, no, she's gone. And you're like, huh. And he's also like, the telegraph machine's broken, so we can't talk to anyone. And so he goes off into his office, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll just look around.
That's what I always do as soon as the hotel manager's out of earshot.
Let me get behind that desk.
Time to really make myself comfortable.
Oh, yeah. And I won't say what it is because it's the only puzzle in the opening section, but basically you have to figure out what actually happened to her. Mm-hmm. He's said that she's left a letter and left, but you are unconvinced. And so that section of the game is teaching you how all the fucking menus work, all the, your clues, your evidence, the people, the map. The map will show you where each person is at various times of the day. Mm-hmm. So you have this big sort of very informative, kind of not like Blueprints, which very much relied on you, if you wanted to, like writing shit down in a real notebook.
Yeah.
It's like, no. We're recording everything here. You've got all of this information, and because it is this complex mystery, you've got to put all of this together. And so it'll be like, once you have a piece of evidence attached to like a piece of information that's attached to a person, you can form a hypothesis, and you kind of go into a little thing where it gives you a dialogue tree of like, is this what happened?
Okay.
And so, you're basically actually going through the process of like deducing what happened through these menu screens, which I think initially it's a little overwhelming because there's a lot of different nodes on the fucking mind map. But by all reports, it really does help you solve this mystery. It's an intuitive menu system as you come up against sort of challenges that need you to dive into it and really use it to its full extent. Mm-hmm. But I'm still quite early on. So I did the sort of essentially opening mystery, which that gives you, 1 hour. I think after that it's a bit different, potentially.
Right.
I don't know if you have a set limit, but every interaction adds 1 minute, which is very similar to like the steps in Blueprints.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I think the writing's cool so far. It is developed by an Irish team and is set in Ireland, and all the voice acting's Irish. And it's funny, like you come across like a little letter at the start of the game in one of the rooms, and it's written in like actual Irish language. So your character, I think, is from the big city and he doesn't speak it. So he's like, I wish I knew what that meant.
Need to get the fellas from Kneecap in here to sort this out.
Exactly right. So I like that there's that element of sort of the cultural, context and window dressing as well that differentiates it from kind of, I think, any other game I've ever played.
From what I've read, it does sound like it's got a lot of the source of like the Golden Idol games where when you're solving a thing, like you have actually solved it. It's not just like, oh, I went over here and then it sort of spelled it out for me. Like you really are having to put your whole juicy into it.
Sherlock Hussey?
Yeah, you're Sher Lucy.
100%. And there is, I think, in one of the sort of like, I think it's the hypothesis mechanic. Louis, he's barking at, I think, the leaf blower.
Don't you dare bark at the tripod.
No. You do fill out a Mad Lib sort of section of dialogue as you put that together, which I immediately was like, oh, you guys played Golden Idol.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I can't wait to dive into more of it. Visual style, it's like the in-game style is kind of like that cell shaded simplistic style, and all the cutscenes are kind of comic booky, like not like superhero comic booky, but they have sort of that style panels and
graphic novels, they're called.
Mom. Or just like that kind of an independent comic style that is a bit also like, if I'm unfavorably comparing it to something, internet fan art. Like the art is not the most appealing thing about the game.
Got it.
But if you want to use your brain, fucking switch it on, boot this up, and suck me off.
Well, I hate using my brain, which is why I've been playing what I've been playing this week.
Oh, yeah.
After talking about Fortnite last week, specifically The Simpsons being in Fortnite, a few people messaged me about this saying, just fucking play Hit and Run.
Yeah.
And
you were like, I can't. It's not on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, wrong again, bozo.
Yeah. Wrong.
As it turns out, there's a very healthy community of people keeping the PC port of this alive. So if you look into it, you can quite easily find a download of the original game with a new mod launcher that comes preloaded with a bunch of things like a higher resolution and all that kind of stuff to sort of clean it up a little bit. There's also packs that people have made that add in new missions and new characters, and there's a whole an interconnected map. There's a thing where the voice samples that are in the PC version are a bit lower quality than the ones that were on the Xbox version. So someone's ripped the samples from the Xbox version and put them in there.
That's very cool.
Yeah, there's a
some
whole
real DIY shit.
Yeah, it's called, I think they're called Donut Team. So if you just Google them, you'll be able to find all of this stuff.
Nice.
It's cool, but been playing The Simpsons Hit and Run on my PC, and I can totally see why people that have played that remember this game will not shut the fuck up about it. Right. You do have to give it I wouldn't say that people just want it ported onto anything.
Oh, yeah.
People just want to be able to play it even just a version of it as is back in the day.
Right.
I can kind of see why that hasn't happened, because you do sort of have to give it the concessions of it's very that era of open world game, in that the early, and every open world game does this, but I feel like they've gotten a bit more immersive with how they do this in the early stages of the first couple of missions being go over there.
Yes.
And you are going the shortest distance doing one thing and then driving back.
Yeah.
And then the next one is a little bit further, but all the very early missions being very uninteresting versions of just do this, do this, do this.
Right.
Showing you the kind of like 4 different types of things that you'll be doing across the game.
Yep. Very GTA 3 sort of style.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But it's you're Homer. You're Homer while you're doing this.
It's your Homer.
It's your Homer. You're driving around Springfield. There's heaps of voice acting in it.
Fuck yeah.
It's great. I definitely would have gone cocoa bananas for this if I had have played it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I can totally see why people booting this up now are happy to just play through it again.
Right.
As is for the nostalgia hit. And I'm having to go into it with a bit of patience for the era that it's from, but not a ton. Like it's still like the voice acting is all in there.
Yeah,
it's cool to drive around in Springfield. You unlock different characters. You like the second vehicle that you unlock is the plow from the Mr. Plow episode. You know, it's like all of the little things that are in there of like, okay, well, what's a version of a mission where you go and you have to drive around and like wreck another car that you're driving around next to, and the version of that is Smithers is on his way to the power plant to give you your evaluation report, and you don't want your evaluation report, so you're trying to run Smithers off the road.
Yeah, sick.
And destroy his car so that he can't make it to the power plant.
Yeah, awesome.
All stuff like that.
Yeah.
Patty and Selma are like running a little race that you have to do because they work at the DMV.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, it's all just stuff like that, which is fun and cool, and
Awesome.
really does make you go, why the fuck have they not made another proper Simpsons video game in such a long time?
Yeah,
to put all
right.
that work into the map in Fortnite and then it's just going to disappear after a month seems crazy.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, like, you know, we were saying like that obviously is kind of tied into the promo of the film starting up and trying to appeal to a younger audience. Maybe an actual game might come out sort of closer to the film or after it, potentially, if it does well.
The last time they made a game was outside of the mobile game. They made that game for consoles, and that was called just The Simpsons Game.
Yeah.
And it was tied to The Simpsons movie coming out. Right. It came out roughly around the same time. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe there is something about to be announced.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a new version of this. I mean, it is kind of the easiest template to just put anything into.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, I was playing this, and at the same time, Lauren has now started her 6th playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. And I was just thinking about how funny it is that we're in separate rooms doing just the same thing. Like playing a version of go here and get this, travel around this big map that is just the same format of video game that most video games are now, but with a coat of paint that is a pop culture thing that you have a deep attachment to.
Yes.
And you're like, this is cool getting to be Homer driving around and trying to run over Millhouse.
Totally. Truly that thing of like when you were kids being like, I just wish I could be in, you know, in this world and like walk around and like go into the stores and, you know, drive the cars and talk to all the, like, it's like, we can do that now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go out of the house.
Nah.
I'm just going to do this.
So I recommend, it was pretty easy to get, get downloaded and set up and everything. And there's also, I don't think I talked about this yet, but there is a team of people who are working on a Futurama version of Hit and Run.
Yeah.
There's essentially a mod for the Simpsons Hit and Run. So you need that game and the mod launcher, and then you just launch the Futurama version from there. And I had a little go of that. There's only a demo at the moment.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like I'd been playing the Simpsons one and then going in, and it just is the same. Right. You know, it's all the same format and stuff, except that you're in New York. Yeah. You're driving around a little hover car. The thing that I think kind of holds it back a little bit is a lot of the text and dialogue is all placeholder. Like, because this is a fan-made game, they don't have access to the voice actors, so they've gotten an AI to do some of the line readings, and the writing is just very like, hi Bender, what are you doing here? Well, I thought I'd come here. Oh, okay. It's, you know, it's not got the same flair of like the Simpsons dialogue is like, you know, it was all written by people from the show. Like, it's all really funny and really does feel like you're in an episode of The Simpsons. The Futurama thing is, it's kind of lacking that. It does have these moments of feeling a lot like you are in a fan game. But them having made this whole version of that game, but with all the Futurama assets. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fucking, I got a lot of time for people who making your own game is one thing, but making a fan game, which is like purely just for the love of it.
Yes.
There's no potential for it to like go big and make you a lot of money or anything like that. It's just you're a fan.
Yeah.
And you want this to exist.
Yep.
So, yeah, recommend both of those things.
Awesome. Check them out. Give them a Google. I strongly recommend Seance of or at Blake Manor.
Yep.
Especially if you've tried all of those detective games that we've reviewed over the years and liked them. It's very much in that vein. And I'm excited to play more of it. I can't wait for the mystery to unfold and get a bit more complex. But good shit.
We will be back next week. We're going to be chatting Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah, yes.
And probably other stuff.
Probably, yeah.
One hopes.
Yeah, we'll see what news drops in about 3.5 days from now. But yeah, looking forward to Kirby.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Get on the Patreon, support the show, get an extra hour of content from us every week where we talk about movies, TV shows, all the other stuff that we're consuming that's not video games.
That's right.
Thank you for listening. As we say here, God damn it. As we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals, eat my shorts.
Or take my money.
There we go.
Yeah.